Somebody said Kendrick outsold Drake. Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you how this shit goes. Number one, none of these records are served to radio, right? This is a surprise drop. I know it's a surprise drop because 3 hours before Drake dropped it, I got news that his label just got it turned in. They had no idea he was gonna turn it in. They knew he was working on some, but
I sent it to you.
He turned it in. Oh, he turned it in 3 hours. So around like Thursday at noon. So this is around Thursday at noon. No, actually before noon. It was Thursday morning. He turned it in Thursday morning, and he told the label I wanted to drop Thursday night, which is Friday morning, right? And a lot of people didn't know. That's why you see random artists like, oh, I'm pushing their shit back because they didn't know either. Once a Drake album goes in with a release date locked, they're gonna tell everybody else, unless you're not trying to get no attention, move your date. Okay, that's why you see a lot of action that day. When I was told about it, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Which means he didn't have much. And I feel like I'm giving excuses, and clearly it is excuses. I feel, but
propaganda.
I don't even think that's the main reason why his shit's not gonna sell. I think it's not gonna sell just because it's a dance album, and I think if it was a rap album, Rap Caviar, all these other places that matter with artists getting streams would have picked up the songs and it would have still went. But this is what happens when Drake makes non-hip hop music. To be honest, I'm gonna show you something on Spotify right now. And again, this is you can say it's excuses or whatever, but I want to give y'all context to, if y'all are wondering why didn't he sell, I want to show you how much playlist and things of the sort matter. Okay, everybody can just watch this on my screen. Here we go. Hopefully it will show.
Is it true that Kendrick didn't have physical copies?
Yeah, but nobody gets physical copies these days. Drake ain't. There was no physical.
How much physical copies did he sell on his last record?
The last time he dropped was 2018. So back then you had no, it wasn't 20. It was 2017. And back then you had the finesse where you could bundle physical copies with actual items. Travis Scott did it. A bunch of people did it. That shit's a dub now. Nobody's dropping physical copies except Taylor Swift or somebody like MGK. When you're white or you're outside the genre, vinyls sell better. Not only vinyls sell better, like shit. Or you're like some, I don't want to call them weird, but like BTS, 95% of their sales was physicals. They're not streamed heavy.
I'm not gonna lie, vinyls do sell better. Artists that do drop vinyls, it's because they know it's gonna sell.
Well, a lot of artists don't drop vinyls when the album first releases. They'll drop the vinyls later as a special edition. There's a growing market for vinyls, but it's not something I believe will be the cause of, like, say, if you thought Kendrick was going to do 500K, I don't think because there wasn't physical, which vinyls would be a part of that, that's why he did 295. I think, honestly, we were hoping for some mainstream songs that was going to catch. And you know what happens now? Twitter, that's why all these labels spend so much money on marketing, trying to influence meme pages, loud personalities, or whatever. They're going to spend the money because, put it like this, the talk about this Drake album, I guarantee they say 230. Drake ain't doing over 220, if you ask me. Probably 215. It's going to go down. Because when people are continually saying it's trash, the consumption becomes less and less because people are most influenced by word of mouth more than they are by just people pushing the product on them. But anyway, let me just show you this real quick. So if y'all look on the screen, it's in Spotify, right? Let me just make it a little bit small over here. My bad. I want you to see the whole screen.
Chicken fries are back on the 2 for $5 mix and match at Burger King. Want them as a side?
Okay. And I want to show you how much playlists affect an album. So this is the album he just dropped. Honestly, never mind. Let me tell you how it usually goes. When people want to check out something, especially a new album, usually even if it's an intro track, the intro track gets a lot of plays because people are just playing it from one to whatever, right? If you look at this Drake album, the most played song, which by the way usually is the least played song on most albums, is the one at the end, which is a rap song. It has 11 million plays. Everything else, well, I mean, Falling Back does have 11 million as well, but the intro 6 million. Everything else is around 6 to 7. Some 8, some 4, some 3. Okay, basically the rap song. By the way, he dropped the video for Falling Back, didn't he? Right?
Mhm.
Okay. So the rap song, 11.8 million. It's the last song on the album. It's usually, when you look at regular albums, the last song on the albums is the least streamed. In Drake's case, is the most streamed. Why is this happening? The point is, what I'm trying to say, niggas wanted to hear rap from Drake. They don't want to hear this other shit. Yes, there's a market for it. Maybe it'll do better over time, like some of the Taylor Swift shit. It does way better over 3 years than usually a rapper. But people don't want to hear, or didn't want to hear right now, this shit from Drake. Now, I would say at least, so the difference between the track before and that track is roughly 8 million. I would say not only Rap Caviar, but editorial playlist probably covers for about 5 to 6 million of those plays. I'm gonna give the other plays attributed to the fact that word of mouth, people probably talking about the song, and also 21 Savage on the song. But the point of this is what I'm trying to say. This is gonna explain some of the numbers that you're seeing. You get me? You're number one. They're only supporting one song. Every other song is a dance song. Which again, not trying to cop out for him. Do we consider this a flop?
You have to, right?
No. What do y'all say?
If we go
I
on
mean-
individual academic standards, this is a flop.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. It's a flop. Listen, man, it's a flop. I don't give a fuck. It's a flop. Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. My boy flop. This is cool. It's flop. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I would hope Drake takes this in stride, because even though we're calling this a flop just strictly off numbers, it was a necessary flop. I think Drake also needs to free himself like YoungBoy. You know why YoungBoy is so great to me? YoungBoy has freed himself from the numbers. He could drop like something with Richard Kidd that does 30,000, and you might call it a flop. But then if he drops like his solo album, it's gonna do 140. You get what I mean? Like there's a lot of these artists, they're just in the matrix of feeling the pressure where they gotta do over a certain amount. But I'm gonna be honest, is this a flop by Drake standards? Yes. Duh. The fuck? Like again, and one of the reasons I'm gonna also say that, Drake made an album that was more international, that was supposed to be bigger than what hip-hop was, bigger than just more worldly. If you're making a worldly album but it's doing less than your hip-hop album, it is a flop. It is what it is. Now, granted, I still think he should have did more than Kendrick, because Kendrick flopped too. But still, it's a flop. Sorry. Whoa. Hurt my heart.
But who's the last artist that touched 400K?
Aubrey, Drizzy Drake, last name ever, first name greatest. Graham.
Astroworld.
That's the shit. Is like, what numbers are good that we're like comparing it to? In rap and music, you only need to be better than your competition.
Brother.
He didn't put out a rap album.
Brother, Drake should never be selling 200s, bro. Like, come on.
But what do you mean? Kendrick barely cracked 300.
Brother.
Eminem doing 100K. Like,
Brother.
people are done.
Brother.
It's over. The weekend is so
Hold on. Kendrick needs a therapist. J. Cole is literally a 12th man on a basketball team. Drake is the GOAT. He should never be in the 200s. I'm sorry to say. I have higher standards than him, okay? Listen, when a bum-ass nigga, like one of these bum-ass superstars y'all like in the basketball, it misses the playoffs, we don't care. LeBron should never miss the playoffs, ever. Ever.
No, wait.
Put LeBron and 10 of us on a team, he should make the playoffs at least.
You said Kendrick barely hit 300?
He didn't. He did 295. That's why I'm going to pay that nigga $500.
So if Kendrick does 295 and Drake drops down to 200, can we say that Kendrick damn near sold another 100K more than Drake again?
On a
Kendrick
dance
sold
album?
100K more than Drake after 5 years, and we're comparing a rap album to... We're comparing a black...
Wait. No. Yo, Kyrie,
like, Kyrie, keep it a buck. Do you compare a Nas album to a Taylor Swift album?
Wait, Kyrie. I like what you're trying to do. I like when people like you try to do it. Let me break it down. First and foremost, if we're going to be talking about it like that, we're going to have to compare in sequential order. When's the last time that Kendrick dropped? That was 2017. Was the last time after that Drake dropped? It was 2018. Okay, we're going to have to compare it sequentially. Okay? You're trying to jump, like, so you're not going to count CLB? No?
That's the album. We can count CLB.
CLB is the 650.
Okay.
Oh.
Ak, you know my problem with this argument is? Like, Drake didn't put out a rap album, so we had to compare him to people who aren't rap, right? Olivia Rodrigo is a huge pop star. They play her music everywhere, and she even cracked 300K. What the fuck are we talking about?
Yo, yeah, and by the way, it's going to be interesting. I think one of the reasons why Drake dropped this project too is watching. By the way, even though he didn't do the craziest numbers, Kanye West got nominated for every gospel award. He cleaned up house at the American Music Awards and the Billboard Awards for the gospel genre. Whatever genre they put this in, I don't know if dance is a genre or if it's just house. I think it's dance because I don't think house is a genre recognized by Billboard and like official,
house is a subgenre. Dance is the category.
Okay, so he's gonna get every dance award possible, right? And in reality, this is a dance. This is a dance album.
I think that's debatable because didn't Kate Renata drop a good album this year?
Bro, Drake is getting every award, bro. Look, come on now. Like, come on.
He get that David Guetta remix.
He's a different type of monster, bro. Like, I mean,
I know
this is some New York Fashion Week.
But I'm thinking like, now you can say he gets every award, but then you also got to think the politics part too. Like, you can say like, fuck you, still he can do some weird, like, you know what I'm saying? They could do some weird shit.
Wait,
you know
let me look at some of these dance playlists. Wait, how do I find the dance? I don't even know what these dance playlists say. Fucking call.
You just type in dance or EDM music. Like, the thing is, nobody listens to those artists right now. That shit hasn't been hot for 10 years.
Versace gonna go stupid when they drop a new collection.